Today I'm talking to you from the forest in Armenia because I needed a little change and it's nice energy here. And I'm going to continue our exploration of being nice versus being kind and how to set boundaries with kindness and when to set boundaries, how to know when we need to set boundaries. And I've been exploring this a lot in my contemplations, and I've been listening to my coach talk about setting boundaries, which was very timely. And she said sometimes when something's easy, we don't set a boundary. So, for example, somebody's going to the grocery store and their friend says, "Oh, will you pick me up this, and that?" And you're going anyways, you can just pass it by on your way home. And so you do it because it was easy. And then the next week, and the next week, and the next week, they ask you again. But then one day your friend asks you for something that's not as easy. Like, "Hey, would you lend me $100? But you don't have a lot of money." And so then you get mad. It's like, "I've run to the grocery store for you for the past 6 weeks and now you're asking me for this?" And so then you misbehave, as I like to call it, or you explode. The volcano explodes and erupts. You were nice, you were nice, you were nice, but that's enough niceness. So rather than setting the boundary before, saying, "Well, look, I ran to the store for you already a couple times. I think now that's enough. And, I'm busy and I have to do other things." So that you don't build up with this resentment. And then when your friend asks you for something that you really don't find easy to do, you won't already be calculating all the things you did. And that is one way to see how it's important, even though you don't mind. "Oh, I don't mind. It's okay. I can do it." To set the boundary anyways, to protect you and your friend later on from some other incident where your friend might over ask and then not understand why you reacted that way. When I was living with this hoarding lady, she had said to me that I could come stay with her if I didn't mind a messy house and a dog. And I said, okay. And of course, I was paying her to stay. And when I got there and saw how she really had a lot of garbage all over her house, I wanted to leave. Normal. And she asked if I would stay. She said that my being there would shine a light for her to see where she needed to fix her ways. Well, that's easy for me. Okay, I can stay and I can help you with that. And so that went all right until she started asking me to watch the dog overnight. And she asked me on numerous occasions to watch the dog overnight. And I didn't want to do that. I have a broken sleep, and the dog woke me up very early in the morning to go outside. And it was very disrupting. And I started to get really grumpy. And one day she asked if I would watch the dog for 4 nights, and that turned into 8 nights. So now I'm starting to get mad. She's overstepping my boundaries. And she's also a little bit emotionally manipulating me by saying things like, "Oh, you're such a good friend. I love you so much. I'm so happy you're here," to make me feel better about it. Well, the dog had a problem because the lady would bring home food from her catering and feed it to the dog, and the dog had allergies to the food. And the dog was scratching too much, and this was starting to upset me. I took the dog to the vet, and the vet told me what to do to help it, putting it on a special diet. But the lady would not agree to respect this diet. She wanted to feed the dog whatever was in the refrigerator. And for me, that was when the volcano erupted. "I've been doing all this for you. I've been helping you throw away your garbage. And I've been watching your dog, and you won't do this." And so what happens is if we allow people to ask too much of us, and then they ask one thing too much, like the straw that breaks the camel's back, then the whole relationship goes up in smoke. So it's really important to identify early, even if it's easy for you to do. "Oh, it's no problem, I can do that. I'm at home, I work from home, the dog's here, I'm here, I can do it, no problem," right? But if the person asks too much of the easy things, when the person finally does something or asks too much of the hard things, That's when everything falls apart. So be mindful sometimes when you say, well, I should do it because I could do it. Yeah, I'm able to do it, so I'll do it. To nicely and with love set a boundary that might be already over asking. I know we want people to love us and care about us and think that we're generous people, but I think that the generosity should come from us and not be requested of us, unless a person is really in big trouble, of course, and then they're reaching out for help. That's a whole different subject that we're not going to get into right now. So I hope this helps someone, and we're just on the path and we're learning, and now I'm going to show you a little bit of the forest, okay?